was hoping to see her.
Absolutely.
I was hoping to see her.
Yeah.
Ruben, did you hear from Raina at all?
No, it's
No?
very yesterday. It's.
Did you just get here or just?
No,
You been here?
I'm waiting for you.
Oh, okay. Oh, boy.
All right, everyone, seeing that it is 2 o'clock, let's go ahead and call this meeting to order on Wednesday, January 28th, 2026. Happy New Year, everybody. This time, recommence with roll call. Ruben,
Member Macias,
present.
member Ramirez. Member Merritt,
Present.
member Rose. Member McKillop,
Here.
member Fuller Kuda,
Present.
member Garcia. Member Gandara.
Here.
Member Ruiz.
Here.
Member De La Cruz,
Here.
member Hernandez,
Here.
and we have.
Thank you. All right, on item 1, 2, introduction of guests. Are there any guests present in the room who would like to introduce themselves?
Hi, everyone. Michelle Overmeyer, Director of Planning and Innovation, and we have a Civic Spark Fellow that is joining MST for the next 8 months, so I'll let him introduce himself.
Hi everyone, I'm Max. Yeah, I'm the Civic Spark Fellow. So I'll be here until September, and my role is to increase outreach and ridership in the South County cities. And I'm very excited to do so. And I'm just sitting in on this meeting to see what it's like. Thank you.
Thank you, Max. Happy to have you join us. Is there anybody on Zoom who would like to introduce themselves? All right, seeing none, on to item 2 for public comments on matters not on the agenda. Anybody on Zoom? All right, seeing none, on to the consent agenda, the approval of the minutes from the last meeting, November 19th of 2025. Those were emailed out. If I could get a motion to approve the minutes. Motion.
A second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
And then since I was not present, I'll abstain from that. Next is item 4, new business, the membership recruitment. Christy.
All right, so good afternoon, everyone. Christy Sugabo, Mobility Services Manager. So the Mobility Advisory Committee membership, that is appointed by the board, MST's board, and makes recommendation to MST staff and the board regarding the transportation needs of seniors, veterans, persons with disability, low income, youth, and isolated population. The committee acts as a liaison between MST and these communities to assure that their constituents and clients have input into the MST service planning process. So according to your bylaws, membership of this committee shall consist of individuals chosen to represent key elements of the community, persons with disabilities, the elderly, social services providers, veterans, and healthcare agencies. And not only that, but to comply with the Transportation Development Act requirement of PUC 99238 for Social Services Transportation Advisory Council membership requirement as listed, one representative of a potential transit user who is 60 years of age or older. One representative of a potential transit user who is disabled. Two representative of the local service provider for seniors, including one representative of social services provider for persons of limited means. Two representative from a local consolidated transportation services agency designated pursuant to subdivision of section 15975 of the government code, if one exists, including one representative from an operator if one exists. Additionally, in your bylaws, the committee called for a staggering of members' terms so that insofar as possible, 1/3 of appointment expire each year. Members shall be eligible for reappointment. Member Jennifer, who just joined us, Ramirez, and member Bobby Merritt, their membership term expires at the end of this month, and they did both express membership reappointment. So the committee will need to recommend to MST board to reappoint member Jennifer and Bobby for a new 3-year term. So your recommendation then will fill 2 vacancies in the committee. So I would need a motion to reappoint member Jennifer and Bobby, and then a second to the.
I'll second.
I need somebody to make the motion.
I move to reappoint Jennifer Ramirez and Bobby Merritt for your terms.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Does-
So passed.
Thank you. Does Jennifer or Bobby, do you want to say anything to the committee?
Just
for your-
happy to be here.
Yeah, and thank you for being part of the committee.
Yeah, always happy to be here and to serve with everyone and to represent the children and youth in transportation. So thank you.
Thank you.
Chair, can I ask a question
Yes, ma'am.
about membership?
You have a question?
Yeah, where are we with membership currently as far as occupancies and vacancies on the?
Oh, yeah. So we are, I knew that question was gonna be asked. I was prepared. So this committee is, we can have up to 15. And we currently, with the 2 reappointments, we have 5 vacancies. As for like identification, to the requirement for each members, we are doing pretty good. There are representation within the requirements of the MAP and then the requirements of STAC, the Social Services for Transportation Agency, TAMC.
So no deficiencies? You
No
feel like we need
deficiencies.
for-
We're just short 5 members out of the 15.
Is there a minimum?
No. Oh, well, I mean, we go below 6, that would be a problem. So we will annually, Ruben and I work on recruitments. I think our challenge last year, or will continue this year, is having representation for South County residents. So that's been a challenge, and Ruben and I have continued to work on trying to make that.
Makes sense.
All right, thank you, Christy.
You're welcome.
All right, item 4.2, as you know, we generally hold elections every January for the position of chair and vice chair. Put it out there that if there's no interest, I can either default back to chair or vice chair. But at this time, if you would like to run for the position of chair, please, speak up. I will once again throw my hat in the ring rather for position of chair. Anybody for vice chair?
I would be willing to continue in vice chair if nobody else is interested, but if somebody is, please do.
I promise I'm only absent maybe once. Made it today, even with, car leaking gasoline. So,
Oh, no.
yeah,
Everybody's having gas problems, huh?
I know.
Do you need a motion, Chair?
Yes.
Yeah, we need a motion.
I make a motion that we have Mr. Stephen Macias serve as chair and Mrs. Jennifer Ramirez serve as vice chair for the 2026 calendar year.
I get that.
Am I allowed to say all in favor? All in favor?
I
All right, I'll continue to sit here then, and I don't have to have a new name tag made, which saves on paper. Item 5, presentations, seeing none, we'll skip that item. And then report and information items, the MST ride service update, David.
Right. Good afternoon, everybody. It's good to see you all again. We have slides or no? There we go. All right, as most of you know, last presentation was a bit lengthy. We wanted to kind of give you an update as far as how things were going since Transdev had taken over the contract in July. So we wanted to give a full, update to how the transition was going. This is gonna be a little more condensed version, just to give you an update as far as how things have gone since July and since our last report. So what you see here is our trips by purpose. It kind of breaks down the reason for our customers using the service and what they're using it for. Primarily, it's a lot of education and training and medical and personal recreational trips. So kind of get the breakdown there as far as what everyone's using the service for. I'm working with our dispatch team to hone in on that so we can drill down a little bit more in depth, make sure that as they make their reservations for our customers, that they are confirming that what they're using the service for. Is it for employment? Is it for, recreational, medical, so we can have a better understanding what the program is being used for by our customers. If you can go to the next slide. This next one here is basically the same as the first one, but it's for a yellow cab service that we utilize as well as an overflow and assistance to us, for our operators. Basically the same purpose for using the service, for education, going to school, medical, and personal recreational use. Okay, if we go to the next slide. This slide here, very colorful. We've added on this slide here under the total trips for FY26, if you guys can see it from there, it's including the trips that Transdev is completing, plus the trips that Yellow Cab is completing for us as well. As you can see, there's been a considerable increase in ridership since July since Transdev took over the service. It's great. I know Christy will probably touch on that later on about the increase in ridership and the participation. But it's definitely keeping our drivers busy. And I'm happy to say that currently right now we are fully staffed. We have 86 active drivers that are able to assist with the increase in ridership. And so very happy to say that, it's made our operation run a lot smoother. Right, if we can go, and then, rides passengers, you can see that has also increased down below. So kind of they coincide with each other. Right, if we can go to the next slide. And this first portion of the slide is our passengers per revenue hour. When we first took over in July, we were in the hiring process and we didn't have as many drivers as we do now. So that number of, that we were hitting of the 1.93 passengers per revenue hour and the 2 range, it was great because we were able to meet contract standards. But what was happening is our passengers were on the bus too long. too long for our standards. And which, you know, we don't want that for anybody, you know. The slides before, the trips by purpose, when you see a lot of them are for medical trips, you know, they're coming back from dialysis or doctor's appointments and things like that. We want to get them home back where they're comfortable. We don't want them on the bus for long periods of time. So with the hiring of all the drivers that we have now, that's helped reduce that. It also has, you know, reduced the how many passengers we transport per hour, but it's less time on the bus for them in the long run. So, which is a good thing. On the bottom portion of this slide, it shows you our on-time performance, which I'm extremely happy about. You know, drastic improvements from last year in FY25, and you know, from the start of this of July and going forward. You know, it was a little rocky just learning the transition from one contract to another and one company from another. Took some getting used to. We're able to overcome that. We even had to move from our Seaside/Marina office over there behind CSUMB out to Salinas. So that was a big challenge for us as well. You know, we completed all that during Labor Day weekend. And so it was a lot of hours we put in, but you know, we survived, and now things are running smooth, and we're extremely happy with where we're going. And like I said, with the addition of drivers, it's helped us keep that plateau of above 90% on time performance. So, and I believe that is the last slide on this. I just wanted to kind of touch base, just one more thing, you know, with the transition over into TransDev, we put all our road supervisors and our dispatchers and management staff through a lot of extensive training, retraining for ADA regulations, HIPAA regulations, and just overall customer service. So, you know, we wanted to go in with this, you know, with everybody on the same page, understanding what we're here to do and what we're trying to accomplish with serving our customers, and why our customers are taking advantage of the opportunity to ride these buses. And so just kind of wanted to touch base on that. You know, I'm very proud of it. You know, our dispatchers are responding great, and our road supervisors as well. We have 6 road soups now as opposed to 4 in the past. So we've got a lot of personnel out on road to make sure that everything is running smoothly. Our customers are taken care of, especially at La Casa out there in Salinas. So I'm just happy to say, you know, things are going really well. The transition out to Salinas, like I said, was very tough and challenging at first, but I think we're finally, you know, settling in and making things work really well. So all I got. Any questions? No.
No, David, on behalf of the Blind and Visually Impaired Center clients, I've had no complaints. Everybody's happy. Everybody's getting there on time, if not ahead of time.
Good.
So again, thank you for, you know,
Of course.
real work and with the transition.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for the feedback.
Thank you. The MST Mobility Measure Q updates. Christy.
I should have a slide, right? All right, good afternoon again. Christy Sugabo, Mobility Services Manager. It's that time of the year where I provide this committee an update on the previous years on Measure Q programs, mobility services. But before I start my update, I want to give recognition to my mobility team members. Ruben is here with us today, Johanna, Rolando, Kelly, Louisa, and Caleb. They, for the work that they've done for 2025, I work with 6 amazing individuals, and they make my job easy. So just a recognition to them. Next slide, please. So there are 5 core programs that MST offers funded by Measure Q, the Navigator Volunteer Program, MST Rides, Eligibility. My focus is going to be on eligibility because as you heard your update from David, eligibility is done in-house by MST, but the service delivery is contracted by Transdev. The travel training program, taxi voucher program, and the transportation reimbursement incentive program TRIPS. Next slide, please. So I'll start with the Navigator Volunteer Program. We started the year slow with only 3 volunteers, but we did end the year with 8. Our volunteers connect our communities by assisting promoting MST services and mobility programs, and our volunteers are regularly assigned in outreach activities. And locations includes Schultz Park Center in Monterey, the Aldemeyer Center, Junsei Oaks in Marina, Salinas Firehouse Senior Center, which is the firehouse is currently being renovated. So at this time, they are at the bread box, which is great because the bus stop is right outside the location. Chispa Senior Housing and Meals on Wheels of Salinas Valley South and North County Social Events. The year our volunteers committed a total of 737 service hours. Next slide, please. And then continuing with connecting communities in our travel training program, the program teaches individuals how to safely and independently travel using the MST bus system. Travel training session can be done one-on-one or in a group setting. This program is open to anyone. It can vary from young adults, persons with disabilities, the elderly, and veterans. Skills learned depends on the participants' needs. So it can be as simple as learning how to get to the nearest bus stop, or boarding the bus with a mobility device such as a wheelchair, or the whole entire trip. So it will vary depending on the need. The goal of it is basically once they've received the training and completed the training, that they would be able to use our bus system by themselves or any other members any persons that they want to take with them. So in 2025, our group trainings included trips to the Monterey Bay Aquarium, Monterey County Board of Supervisors. That was a coordination in partnership with the Alliance on Aging, and then Monterey County Fair Senior Day. And then our individual trainings included learning how to get from home to school, from home to shopping centers, and then from home to the library. So training is definitely a varies per individual's needs. Last year, our total, there was a total of 362 persons that participated in travel training session. Next slide, please. So moving on to the MST Rides program eligibility. So the program is for any person with disabilities who's prevented from using the regular bus, either for all or some of their trips. There is an application and an interview that needs to be completed in order to qualify. And certification will vary from temporary 3 years to permanent. And to use the service, it is trips are by reservation, and it is a shared ride. It operates on the same hours as that of the regular bus system within the 3/4 of a mile corridor from MST bus stop. And then there is a fare of $2 one way for those who are eligible for the program. Personal care attendant can ride for free with them. And then if there is a companion, the companion is charged the same fare of $2. Next slide, please. All new applications are processed in person, and then anyone who's recertifying, that is completed by a phone interview. And last year, there were 732 clients that got registered for the rights program, of which 545 were new, and then recertification was 187. At the end of last year, we had a total of 2,593 registered clients in the program. Next slide, please. So this next slide is a breakdown of eligibility certification by age and mobility. So those enrolled in the program, 64.87% are at age 65 and older. 34.67% are at the age 18 but under 65, and then less than 1% is younger than 18. And then those that are enrolled, 34.17% are ambulatory, meaning that they don't use mobility aid. 42.27% use mobility aids such as cane and walker, and then 23.56% use mobility device such as wheelchair, power chair, power scooter. So about 65.83% are mobility aid assistant dependent, those that are enrolled in the MST rights program. Next slide, please. And so moving on to our taxi voucher program. So there are 3 different categories for our taxi voucher program. For the elderly seniors who are 65 and older, or persons with disability and veterans. Proof of eligibility is required in order to qualify. There are distribution and sign-up locations that we partnered with in different areas in the cities of Monterey County, with the exception of South County. And then those that are in the taxi companies, their drivers, they are certified TACT drivers, which means that they went through a training provided by MST, which is the Taxi ADA certification training. And this training teaches our taxi drivers how to properly provide customer service for those for individuals who are elderly and persons with disability, and in compliance with like the ADA requirement as well. So when using the taxi voucher, each one-way trip costs a $3 fare copay, and one voucher, which is a total of $17. If the taxi meter exceeds the $17, then that is the rider's responsibility to pay the difference. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned, there are sign-up and voucher distribution locations that we have partnered. So for the senior voucher, we do have 10 distribution locations and 2 sign-up locations. For persons with disability, we have 3, and then for veterans, we have 4. And currently, taxi cab companies that are providing taxi voucher services is the Yellow Cab, California Taxi, Salinas Taxi Cab Services, Marina Taxi, VIP Taxi, South Taxi, Orange Cab 1 and 2. They're not related. And they are also all registered with the Monterey County Regional Taxi Authority. Next slide, please. So in 2025, we ended with 8,993 enrolled participants in the taxi voucher program, which had a 23.8% increase in comparison to 2023, and then 8.9% increase in compared to 2024. Our customers are 63% elderly, 31% disabled, and 6% veterans. And then there were 57,210 trips taken last year, of which 67% were taken by seniors, 32% by persons with disabilities, and 1% by veterans. Next slide, please. And then last is the Transportation Reimbursement Incentive Program, TRIPS. This is the least participated program within mobility programs and services. But not to worry, it's doing its job so far. It ended 2025 with 123 registered participants. And when I say not to worry, it's because this program is intended for residents who live out in Monterey County, but live outside MSD service area. So these folks are very isolated. And so those who are, so it's for, to qualify, it's for elderly 65 plus, persons with disabilities or veterans. And once enrolled, they can identify their own volunteer driver. And then MST reimburses the participant to pay for either it could be their family member, neighbor, or a friend who provided them the trip. Currently, reimbursement is capped at $150 per month at the end of 2025, and we are looking to change the miles reimbursement to mirror that of the current 2026 reimbursement rate. Next slide, please. So in 2025, there were a total of 11,305 trips that got reimbursed. And then 39.10% increase that compared to year 2023. And majority of the trips that were taken were for shopping, community centers, and medical appointments. Next slide, please. That completes my presentation. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them for you. Yeah.
Regards to the DRIVE program,
Mm-hmm.
are a majority or all of the 2593 enrollees active?
No. When you say active, are you referring to actively taking trips?
They use the service at least once a month.
Do you have a count on those that are taking?
Yeah, I was
trips on a
curious too
weekly
about
basis?
unique ridership.
Yeah, does that include in your presentation?
Let me take this. Hang on a sec. Here's my notes. Here's my notes.
If not, I
Yeah.
can definitely
I'll get back
follow
on
up
that.
with the information. Yeah. Okay, what I can do is we'll generate a report for you and then follow up with that. Yeah.
I think one of his slides had passengers
Yeah.
by month.
The duplicate. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the month of December, it's 88.69.
Yeah, no, I was curious too. Unique ridership for the fiscal or the calendar year.
Okay.
That would be terrific. Just to see out of those 25,000, how many are?
It's probably about 20% doing most of the trips.
Kevin, this is Carl. I'm Carl Snark. I'm the CEO. Kevin, you did that calculation for me about a year ago.
I can go back and look.
I don't remember what it was or why we asked. We did.
Yeah.
Did look at it and it is as with most things.
Yeah.
20% in the usual rule, 20% to 80% of the service.
Yeah.
So that was very comparable.
Just a fun fact.
All right. Yes.
Comment / question. So I just wanted to say, it seems like you all are working extremely hard to ensure that there's, just more services out there and increasing your numbers. So congratulations on that. I do have a question in regards to eligibility for the rides program. What would be an example of the types of disabilities that prevent individuals from using the regular bus system? And this is just coming from a I'm not a provider, but someone who works with the community and in terms of providing different resources. And so just wondering, what do those disabilities sort of look like? What would prevent them from being able to use the regular bus system?
Sure, good question. So eligibility is not medical based, it's more of functional based. So if you're a person with disability, what eligibility looks at is, are you able to walk to the bus stop? Are you able to wait at the bus stop? Are you able to recognize that that is actually the bus you need to get on? Are you able to get on that bus with or without a mobility device? Once you're on that bus, are you able to actually stay on that bus to get to your destination? And then once you get to the bus stop to your destination, are you able to get off at that destination? And then at the bus stop, and then from that bus stop, are you able to either walk or self-propel or power chair all the way to your destination? So that's how we determine eligibility, and it's not based on medical, because we're not licensed medical professional. And so I guess to give an example is say you have a fractured foot, and the closest bus stop to you is about 50 feet away, but that's just not a distance for you to be able to walk to, then yeah, that would be eligible for rides, for the ride services.
And a follow-up question,
Mhm.
thank you, that's extremely
Yeah.
clarifying. My follow-up question is, what about like issues with navigating the understanding sort of the comprehension, like you were saying, challenging, maybe not knowing how to look on the phone and being able to see when the next route is coming? Is that sort of in the same realm, if they're needing to get to their medical appointment, for example? And maybe let's say they're in South County and it's about a 2-hour trip to get to their specific appointment. Would that sort of be in the realm of?
It is,
Okay.
yeah. So eligibility is functional, cognitive, and person with visual impairment. So it's across the board. So if you have a disability, what we look for is, are you functional, capable of riding the bus? Because riding the bus takes all that steps. And if your disability prevents you from doing that, then yes, you would qualify for the rides program. And the rides program is for either all of your trips or some of your trips. So you can be a rides qualified individual who rides both the city MST City Bus or MST rides. Mhm.
Christy, is it Louisa that does all the travel training?
That is correct. Luisa is our lead mobility specialist for travel training, but all other mobility specialist is able to support.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, it's her traveling with 20 individuals, training them all at once.
Our travel training program actually has a cap on how many individuals as a group can travel on our bus per mobility specialist. So we're at 10-to-1 ratio if it's a group, and if it's more than 10, then we have to have another mobility specialist to join that group.
Now, that just curiosity for the rides program, would you be able to just break down the graph a little further? I know it's in the 18 to 64, 65 to 100 and plus. Would you be able to do maybe 18 to 25, 26 to 35? I'm just curious what, percentage of ridership, is based off the age.
Oh, sure. I can bring that back to the group in March.
Thank you, Christy. Thanks.
Thank you.
Then on to item 7, announcements and appreciations. Yes, Raina.
First of all, excuse me for being late.
I brought Alyssa, our new person that is, and so of course we went to Romas and then Speed. So. Sorry. Our new benefits checker specialist / assistant for transportation, so obviously we have to teach her a lot of stuff that, and that's what I brought, is just needs to know about very soon. The other is, I wanted to announce that this past weekend, we finally, as I mentioned in the past, we finally went to Lockwood Community. And so we did our flyer and et cetera, et cetera. We had 40 seniors come. Yeah. MST was there, other agencies were there. We had a total of 18 agencies were there, Blind and Vision, Health Choice, et cetera. ITN was there, ourselves. The youngest was 19 and oldest was 89. So it was wonderful. It was a good turnout. The other announcement I want to let you know is yesterday I went on a ride on bus 31 in Gonzales. So we went around and around and around, and it was good because I got to see other sites that I'm not able to go with the van because I go there. But it was nice to see that, okay, so. But I was happy to see bus 31 because, you know, Reina's always complaining, wait a minute, you guys took the bus stop away from Casa de Oro. They have to walk a lot now it's back. So Reina was very happy, thank you so very much. And obviously our seniors are very happy. And now the last one is, remember, taxes are in. Alliance on Aging does them for free for 60 years and older, so if you have a senior that, and I'll send Ruben the flyer so he can send it to all of you guys if I haven't sent it already. Please encourage our seniors to do their taxes for free. Unless they have a business, they can do it for free, but if they have a business, I'm sorry. Thank you. That's all.
Urena, any other announcements, appreciations?
Yes, so we are celebrating Partnership for Children is celebrating its 10th anniversary this year. So we are having a 10th anniversary celebration as well as an open house joint ribbon cutting with the Salinas Valley Chamber and Monterey Peninsula Chamber tomorrow night from 4 to 7. And we would love to have you come. I'll just pass out. Please set this down. Yeah, we're just happy to be celebrating 10 years and looking forward to all that the future brings. So we would love to have you join us.
How many people are you expecting?
Right now we're at about 75. So,
That's
you know,
good.
yeah, we're hopeful. You know.
Yes, I should RSVP. Popped up on my calendar a few days ago.
Wonderful. Yeah, the chambers have been putting it out, so we're hoping we're catching everybody, but since I'm here, I thought I'd hand it out.
Any other announcements, appreciations? All right, item 8, subject item request for the upcoming agenda. I do have one thing, Christy. I'd actually like just a quick update on the SURF project.
Well, Lisa.
That'd be great.
All right, seeing nothing else, let's go ahead and adjourn at 2:42.